My friend, welcome to another Jesus Movements. Today we're going to talk about Steve Caballero. Steve Caballero is legendary, and I do mean legendary, in the skateboard industry. As a matter of fact, he is in some circles more legendary than Tony Hawk. Steve Caballero has been skateboarding since the mid-70s. He's in his 60s, and he's still doing that, and a lot more. Started skateboarding as a young kid, just the same way a lot of kids start skateboarding, just as something to do. Sounded like something fun and rebellious. He gained a lot of notoriety and got signed by a company and started making some money. Now, Steve grew up in a home that wasn't really spiritual. Didn't focus on Jesus or anything else for that matter. Somewhere along the lines, Zen Taoism started to seem good. He fell into the enlightenment trap. And, well, he went that way, but it became very self-centered, which led to him becoming an atheist and a lot of circumstances just arguing straight out with Christians. Now, in 2005, after his life broke down, he gave his life to Christ and has been dedicated to Christ ever since. Steve was part of a legendary skate crew called the Bones Brigade in the 80s. And now he spreads the gospel using his artwork, his music, and his skateboarding. Now, Steve has been a part of multiple skate punk bands over the years. He plays guitar and has been touring up until 2005 so far. He not only does the music and not only does the skateboarding, but he also is very big into art. There are companies out there and bands out there that commission Steve to do artwork for them. Now, Steve is very cool in a lot of ways, but he's also super cool in that he invented his own skateboard trick back in the day called the Caballero. And guys like Tony Hawk then took his trick and changed it a little bit, called it a half cab. But he invented his own trick. This is how cool this guy is, how influential he is. In his later years, and I'm talking now, in his 60s, he is not only into art, skate punk, and of course his skateboarding, but he does mountain biking and motocross. Now, he tells us that his life is dedicated 100% to Jesus Christ. Now, and this is a quote from him, he says, "Being a Christian in the modern day is probably the most punk rock thing you can do because it's not popular." Now, Steve frequently speaks to youth at different events. And he is part of different skate ministries. He works with the Whosoevers. Whosoevers was founded by POD lead singer Sammy Sandoval, Ryan Rees, and his fellow skateboarder and very good friend Christian Hoy. Now, POD was a very big band back in the day, a nu metal punk type of band, right? And so they get together with this group called the Whosoevers, and through metal, skateboarding, and surfing, they reach out to young people and try to bring them to Christ. He works a lot with his dear friend Christian Hoy, who, by the way, Christian is an ordained pastor, and so they use their influence. They use skateboarding and punk rock and surfing and motocross and all of these things to reach people for Christ, to bring young people to following Jesus. So I would agree with Steve when he says that being a Christian in the modern day is the most punk rock thing that you can do. I had a pastor when I first became a Christian who said, "You want to be radical? Follow Jesus." It's something that nobody else is doing. and it gets you a lot of weird looks. So that being said, God bless. That was our Jesus Movements.